Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Brian, also known as the Land Guy, and we are back out here today starting the construction of Castle Pond. Now, if you watched my last video last week, you saw where we came in here and we were clearing all of this site for the expansion of this pond. This is going to be an awesome project. So what I'm going to be doing in this video, I'm just going to be showing you how we're going to be laying out the footprint for this pond build and the steps of what we're going to be doing next. I doubt if we have the full construction of the whole pond in this video, but I want to take you along the journey in how we're going to get this accomplished for these folks that live in that beautiful house right up there. So you see this flag right here. This is where the proposed pond dam is going to be starting from right here, looking this direction, and it's going to go down there in that very bottom, in that valley, and then it's going to circle back up the other side of that hill. So since we have an idea of how that dam's going to be laid out, after shooting grade, we determined that down here in the very bottom is going to be the lowest point of this dam build. Because once it comes up into this area, it's going to be cut right into that little hill there. The height of the dam from this bottom point all the way to the top is going to be about 18 foot high. And that's pretty high. Let's walk over here to the other side and get a view from this side of what it's going to look like. I had some ribbon up here where the pond dam's going to be coming to, but I believe it's somewhere, yeah, there's some of the ribbon there. This is going to be the other side of the pond dam where it's going to be cut into the bank here, which is just right below the tree house. So we've got a dam coming in through there, curving and getting up there on the other side of the hill. So having that all with water, it's going to be about 3/4 of an acre size. I'm looking at around 7,000 cubic yards of material to be moved. That helped me with determining how I was going to price this job out, because all my pond builds I price by the cubic yard. Just got this thing fueled up, this track loader. I'm going to be using this coming in here. I've got to stir a little bit more of that brush pile, but I'm going to start removing all of this top layer, this organic material. Got to get it out of here so we can get down to that clay level. Once we get down to that clay level, then we're going to work on digging out that keyway or that core trench, which is going to be the foundation of the pond dam. And we're going to have to cut that down pretty deep. We'll see how deep it is depending on how much clay we have there in that particular area. I do know there's some pretty good clay, because when we were pushing over some of those big trees down there in the bottom of those roots had a good amount of clay on the bottom of them. That keyway or core trench, many people call it various things. Basically, that's the foundation of your dam, what your dam is going to set on. But the other purpose of it is to help keep water sealed from going underneath the pond dam and escaping the pond itself. But we're going an extra preventative measure because we still have more of this clay that's getting trucked in. We're going to be lining the whole pond with this once this whole pond is constructed. But right now, my main focus is getting this organic material removed and keeping up with these truck drivers that's coming in here. And I want to keep that stuff stockpiled, because when you've got that many loads that's coming in, you've got to have plenty of room. So just to be able to stay ahead of this clay that's getting dumped in here, I'm having to keep it somewhat stockpiled. And I'm going to be filling up some of this holding area down here where this pond is, because that's exactly the angle that I was going to be shaving, and they're going to get that lined with clay anyway. So I need to make my little storage area a little bit bigger, and so that's why we're going to be putting some of this down through here. So I've got quite a bit of that organic material stacked up there on that side of the dam, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working down here in the bottom, and I'm going to put some of this organic material on the back side of the dam. So I'm going to push me a little bit back there so I have it already back there in the back and not having to be worried about trying to get it pushed back there. Here in just a minute, we're going to walk up to the castle house and show you guys some really neat statues. And also, the kids are out here riding motorcycles and they want to be on camera. Isn't that neat? Oh, we've got our buddy here. Several of you have been sending in names for Mr. Gorilla here. I'm still taking more names. We're making some really good progress getting this organic material out of here. Anytime you're working on clearing woods, such as what we did last week, you're going to have a lot of roots and stuff in that organic stuff. So that's what we've been working on, getting that removed. And some of that we're putting up here. Some of it I'm storing on the back side of where the pond dam's going to be. But I want to show you something. Looky at this here. Once I get that organic material moved, we're getting into some pretty good clay here, which is going to be super ideal for constructing that pond dam. A little bit of moisture on this. It's really good material. So that's pretty exciting. I knew there was some down there in the bottom, but even up here on this side of the hill, it's actually looking pretty good. I have my measuring wheel with me here today. We're going to go down here in the very bottom where the dam is going to be the deepest at 18 foot tall. And we're going to measure where the middle of the dam is going to be. Down at the bottom of the dam, the base is going to be about 112 feet, if I figured right. So the middle of the dam is probably going to be around 55 foot from that far side. That way I can kind of determine where my keyway or my core trench is. So what I've done is a lot of those spoils and that organic material that we peeled off this section here, I piled up on that side, and I've also put some here on where the back side of that dam is going to be. This type of material here is okay to put on the back side of the dam, but the main dam itself and the front portion that goes into the pond needs to be pretty much all clay, if at all possible. So right now it's about 40 foot, and I've kind of dug out a little bit of an area, I think, where that core is going to be at, and I may be really close. Here's 50. Wow, that's it's pretty close, Brian. Look at there, 55. Okay, now I've kind of determined, and I had an idea that's probably where it was going to be at. It's going to be right through there, going right up through there. You can see where I've done a little bit. So all this material that I dig out of here, I'm going to be putting over here on this side. And I got to take it down several feet down to really, really good clay is the goal. I've got some rocky material up there, and I'll try to get all of that dug out and going down through there. But I don't want to get too carried away with the keyway yet, because I've still got a bunch of organic material up there that I've got to get either behind where the pond dam's going to be, but I've also got to do some stockpiling up there, because the stockpiles on both sides of the dam is what I'm going to use to put on top of the dam and get that all bladed in on top. And of course the back side is going to have some nice material on the back to get some grass planted in here by the landowner. The day. This thing seems to eat about 50 gallons of fuel a day, somewhere in that neighborhood. So pretty expensive machine to run, but man, it will move lots and lots of dirt. So currently right now what I'm doing is I had a bunch of spoils, or that organic stuff that was up there on that side of where the pond basin is going to be. I'm carrying it down here and spreading it, blading it, and compacting it in lifts. Now I know you're probably confused because you're thinking, man, Brian, that looks like a pond dam. That is actually part of the pond dam. It's going to be the backside. And since this thing is going to be so tall and I only have this track loader, I think what the best thing is for me to do is to do this in different stages. I'm just basically taking a lot of that organic material, I'm bringing down here and spreading it and leveling it with this track loader to get it up into shape. And right now I've got a little bit more rolling to do here. I'm going to get this rolled up in good shape. And then here shortly I'm going to get down there in that core trench area and start digging that out a little bit more. And the plan is once I take that down and then I start bringing in clay and getting it filled and compacted, I'll bring it up as well, and hopefully we'll match it into this here, and then I'll just go up from there. Sometimes these pond projects, they change a little bit over time as the pond begins to evolve. And you got to be super flexible with that and always keep communication with the landowner of what your plans are. And we've already spoke this morning on what we're doing. We've been working on this core trench, which is super important on constructing or in constructing a pond, especially with our soils here in Southwest Missouri. Now, I've had folks in different areas tell me that they don't do core trenches because they have excellent clay. Well, if you got excellent clay throughout your whole pond build area, I can see where you're probably getting by just fine without a core trench. But here in our area, we've got such rocky soil, we almost have to do that to have a successful pond build. Now, what the next step is we're going to be going out here and start digging up some of that good clay down here in this bottom area, filling this core trench up, and then we're going to be compacting it and bringing it up in lifts. And as we begin to bring it up, the higher we get, we're going to be able to compact it into this side here of the dam, which this is going to be the back side. This is going to be your middle part here, and then we're going to be sloping it back down into the basin area. I want to give you all an update on our progress. Now, 3/4 of an acre size pond to many is probably pretty small, but for these folks here, it's going to be just enough. It'll fit in here just perfect at this location. All right, well, I'm going to get back after it, start getting that core trench filled in with some good clay and get it compacted. Lots of progress. Yesterday we worked on getting that core dug out, that trench filled in, and this is the result. We've got some pretty good clay that we were able to dig up here out of the bottom basin area of this pond. Got her put in here. You saw on the time-lapse video, we put it in here. We spread it out, bladed it level. We came in there and we tracked it. I even had a scoop in the bucket just for more compaction purpose. But it's actually going really good. Today the big focus is we're going to continue to rise up the middle section of this pond dam here, get it compacted in. Then we're going to be bringing a lot of this up here down into this area and helping build this dam up. We've still got a long ways to go. This is going to be the middle section, and then we've still got to be able to put that inside slope on the pond. But we've got some really good clay here that we're going to be using for the middle portion of the pond dam. We're going to get that dude built up, packed in, and looking really, really good. It's supposed to be hot today, in the 90s. We're under a heat wave here in southwest Missouri. After getting all that rain over the last month and a half, it's crazy how much rain we got. Too bad the pond wasn't built before all that rain that we got, but it's actually coming along pretty good. So currently right now I am taking out part of this dam and I'm bringing it over here and I'm mixing it up with some of this better clay that's down here in the bottom of this valley, and then trying to get that dam raised up over there. It's working pretty good, so I'll take some of this, dump it over here to come back, and I can scrape up this good clay here in the bottom, get it all mixed up there, that way it can all be compacted together. Because this stuff is not like super great, but underneath here it's got some good clay, and that's what I'm getting her all mixed up with. Wonderful progress here at Castle Pond, getting that pond dam raised up. I've still got a ways to go, but guess what? I think I'm not going to be able to get this finished on this video. So with that in mind, this is going to be part 1 of phase 2 of building Castle Pond. Because you guys don't want to watch a 40 or 50-minute video, and I don't necessarily want to have to edit one for that long. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to be stopping. I'm going to be walking around. I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing, and then I'm going to save the best for the last, and that is the finished product. But I want you to see here, this is the old pond dam that we have begun to take out, and almost over here to this water level, and we've got some really good clay here on the bottom. And so what I'm doing, as I was mention earlier, I'm mixing some of this old pond dam stuff with some good clay here and getting that pushed up there, and we've got a really nice dam that is coming together really good. Oh, by the way, my bottom is really sore. That thing's like riding a bucking bull. I'm pretty thankful for the suspension seat, but wow. Every one of these little bumps, you feel it. It will jar you really good. I may have to have the wife put some powder on my bottom. Shh, don't tell her. We'll see if she'll do it tonight. We got all of that core trench filled in the last 2 days. Today we were able to build on top of that, is what you see here, and we've been able to clean more of this basin area. It's coming together pretty good. Hope that you've been enjoying this video. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel, The Land Guy, where I take you behind the scenes on a lot of my land projects and show you how we get those dudes accomplished. Because it's all about making land better. I love improving land, and one of the aspects of improving land is adding water features such as this. I know it looks like a mess now, but when it's done, it is going to be beautiful. Well, I want to thank you all for watching this video. Stay tuned to the channel for this is part 1 of the pond construction. We're going to be having part 2 probably out sometime next week, because we still have several days here to get this thing accomplished. Plus, we've got to get this thing lined with all of that wonderful clay. And that might be in another video. I'm not really sure how I'm going to break this out just yet. But thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you on part 2.
Need it cleared, need it flat. The land guy's got your back. Dirt roads, ponds, done with pride. Call him up, he's on your side. The land guy, fast and tough, moving dirt, smooth and rough. Big or small, just give a try. Nobody